many contests are scheduled to finish out 2017 on a high note and start off 2018 even higher. We cover Gripmas, LA Fit Expo, Riccardo's tardiness, and more in episode 36 of This Week in Grip.
Hey everybody, this is Jedd here. This is episode 36 of This Week in Grip, and right now I'm joined by Alan, and we're anticipating a visit from Riccardo also. Alan, how's everything going with you, tough guy?
Well, things have been going pretty good, actually. Fingers seem to be starting to heal up. I've had some decent training sessions again, so hopefully getting back on track. How about things for you?
Good. I'm still dealing a little bit with my right ring finger. Something snapped in there this week. I think maybe some scar tissue let loose, and it's actually, I've got better range of motion now. So either that or some of the swelling went away. But I can actually almost close a fist. So if I needed to punch somebody, I probably could now, or at least use all four fingers. Before it was like that ring finger was going to be a liability if I had to haul off and smack somebody. But now I think I'm all right, so let's bring on the violence.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so we got lots of contests coming up, wouldn't you say?
There are a lot. Yes,
yeah,
yes, and the list keeps growing, actually. So, yeah,
right.
even
So
more
why don't we start talking about some of these contests, and I think Riccardo's going to talk about the upcoming Fit Expo.
Yes, that would be a good one. Yeah, well, the first one on the list, and the newest one coming up here is Gripmas on December 9th.
Yeah.
And I know you've been a long-time participant in that competition.
Yeah, I want to say I've been going there since like 2007 or 2008. Yeah,
yep. It's Chris Rice's contest. It's already the entry deadline has passed, unfortunately. This one completely slipped off my radar. I knew it was out there and I'd forgotten all about it to mention it any sooner than that. Mm-hmm. I think the deadline passed, what was it, end of November, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in November sometime, and I think right at the end there a couple other people signed up. So I don't think it's going to be a huge group. There's been up to like 20-plus competitors at this contest before in the past.
Sure,
so,
sure.
In the past, it's gone into like 7 or 8 o'clock at night with a 10 a.m. start. But I don't anticipate that happening this year unless the medley goes extremely long.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'd seen some of those videos from the past. Actually, it looked like he's always had a pretty good turnout. So
yeah, it's usually a really good turnout. Even the one year in 2011, I ran nationals out at Chris's place, and he was afraid that by running nationals there that year, it might decrease the number of people that came to Gripmas, but I don't think it did that at all. Gripmas is actually one of the places where I failed on the MM3. I tried to do it the night before the contest and failed horribly. One of like 10 times that I failed on it. So lots of good and bad memories at Gripmas, to be honest. But it's always a good time there, good environment, and the conditions always seem really good too. It always seems like the chalk is sticking real good to the pinch device. Generally put up some either PRs for the current training phase, or I've set a few world records there on the pinch, as well as so has Cody Burns there at Gripmas. So
that contest is known for that.
Well, a big part of it is, for me, is you go and you're just a participant in the contest versus having to run the contest as well. So there's less on your mind. So I generally able to just focus on the matter at hand and don't have to do a lot of equipment loading or anything like that. So it's a lot of weight off your mind, and you can really focus in.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a fun one. The events, it's going to have the Evanco Super Gripper, which is something I'd never played with at all before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, nothing about that. I don't have one. I'm sure they're still available. I know I've seen them out there. There's just nothing that makes me want to actually go out and get one.
No.
So, but
I'm not
they're kind of
forward to that
funny
event
looking,
either
actually.
because I can't use my right hand on it because I still can't really generate any dynamic force with a gripper. I can't even close a 2 with my right hand. So I'm going to be going left-handed on the Ivanko this time.
Okay. Now, he had that listed, but is that a max effort event? Is that how he's doing that one, or like it's still 4 attempts? I wasn't sure about that one. I didn't see a lot
it's still 4 attempts, and what he does is he attaches a flashlight on there that's got a button that depresses in order to turn it on, and it's set up in a way that when you close it down, it has to be able to. There's like a nut on one handle, and then the flashlight on the other, and then the nut has to hit the button that's on the flashlight and turn it on, in order for it to be a good attempt. Like you actually have to hear that click, and what it requires is you have to squeeze it right down, hear that click, and then kind of like squeeze it just a little bit more, and then you're assured that the flashlight will turn on. So
that's a good way.
Yeah,
no doubt on that one.
Having the judge down there judging a set, there's no set involved. They don't have to make sure the handles touch or anything like that. It's all mechanical. So I sent him mine. I've had one for years and years. I think I got it off Elite Fitness one time, maybe during a Black Friday sale or something. And I sent it to him, and he set it up almost identical with the same model of flashlight, and it's just like a pocket-sized flashlight. So able to train on it. And this year, I did notice that at some point in training for the 2015 contest, my flashlight got bumped up, so it was easier to turn the flashlight on in training than when I went to the contest. So this year, I pulled that flashlight out, and I can't possibly turn it on. So I'm actually trying to fuse the handles together on each attempt. So that's just because I didn't want to make it easier again, because then I went there and I missed on my first attempt the last time. So
okay.
Really interesting.
Okay. Sure.
And I think
sure.
Did Riccardo chime in? Did I hear you?
I'm here. Yeah.
Hey, Riccardo.
Sorry for the delay, guys.
Oh, you know what? We're used to it, man. We know what the West Coast lifestyle is all about. Laissez-faire and show up whenever you want to. We got it, dude. No problem.
Yeah.
You know what we'll do?
You got me nailed down. It's exactly it right there. Yeah.
Well, you know what we'll do, Riccardo, is we'll just starting the show at 6 or 7 minutes after the hour that we state. And then that way you'll be there right at the beginning. Okay? Sound good?
I think he just kicked out. You pissed him off.
I wasn't being serious. I wasn't trying to pick on him. Hopefully he just dropped the call. So, Whoops. All right. Well, Alan, we were talking about Gripmas. What's the next event after the Ivanko Super Gripper?
So next one looks like it's going to be the two-hand Euro.
Yes. Okay.
So,
outstanding.
Seems like that's been a staple there for a lot of years.
He ran that. I don't know. I think I've been out there 8 times, and I think all but once has been two-hand pinch, and there was one year that there was one-hand pinch, and we actually did both hands. So that really added some time to the contest, but it was pretty cool to do both hands in the event. So
sure.
Cody won the event, the pinch event that year. I believe that was 2014 when they did that.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I got disconnected somehow, but I'm back for real this time. More of that California laziness. There you go.
Fantastic. All right, and then what's the next event, Alan? I was trying to think what the order was, and I can't remember what it is. Is
I actually
next?
I think I got messed up on the order myself, but there is a double sledge lever that's going to be happening this year.
Yeah.
Are you guys on Gripmas right now? Is that what you guys are talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about Gripmas. We're trying to figure out the order of events because there's 4 announced events and maybe a possible extra one if I remember right. But I can't remember if he's doing the sledgehammer before the medley or not.
I think the sledgehammer's last, if I recall reading about it. I didn't focus a ton on it because I'm not going. Jedd and Alan, are you guys competing in that one?
I'm going, yeah. I'm Chris Andrade's coming with me as well. Luke is busy. He just bought a house, so
I saw that. Yeah,
good for him.
He's
gonna be tied up. Yeah, they were they were spraying the walls with hot water and Dawn dish detergent, which if anybody needs to ever take the adhesive from wallpaper off, that's what you want to do. The story is, years ago, in one of my first ever contracted jobs, I was supposed to go and take wallpaper off the house and split a bunch of wood for a guy. And got out there. We had no tools, no hot water, no Dawn dish detergent. I didn't even know anything about that. And we did, for about half an hour, we pulled the wallpaper off and said, screw this, and we went outside and split wood for the rest of the time and worked on our tan. It was right in June, right in the middle of the summer. It was a great time. And then the guy that hired us was pissed off because we didn't do enough of his wallpaper. We're like, how the hell do you want us to do this? We didn't have any scrapers or anything. We were over just like picking at it with our fingernails. And we got pissed
how
off.
you developed your stub strength, right there. Stub cross training in action, right there.
Well, you could be right, man. I forgot about that. The other thing was there were a couple nails that we were trying to rip out of like picture frames today, and I was disappointed because my stub training failed me. I figured for sure that I would have been able to yank that nail right out of the wall, but it was actually pretty tough. It took me longer than everybody else that did one. I think mine was a little bit deeper. It was probably at least
they've been doing stub workouts and you don't know it.
Probably. The one guy works for Heineck, which is the power company that's around here, so I bet he's got a stub in the back of his utility truck.
Probably does. Yeah, got it hiding in there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and David Horn actually made that easier now. He made those stubs a little more portable with his latest creations. You guys see those?
Is that the things that pound into a block of wood?
Yeah, yep. I actually thought that was pretty clever. In case you're ever out and about and want to do some impromptu training, you just whip those things out quick and go to work. I actually kind of liked that idea. It was interesting and fairly simple too in the way they were made. So neat idea. Anyway.
I would screw that up. I would pound those in, or I don't even know how you put them in there, but it would end up falling out or something like that, dude. I know that I would fail on that. I'd be able to pick up whatever I wedged it into, but I wouldn't be able to get it to stick in more than 2 or 3 attempts.
Well, that's when you use that adhesive from Luke's wallpaper to glue it in and make sure it doesn't come out, Jedd. That's the key.
All right, I'll send him a Facebook message right now while we're talking and tell him not to throw any of that stuff away because I might need some of it for this portal.
You got to keep it handy. You never know. You got to be like a Boy Scout. You got to be ready, Jedd.
That's the motto, right? Always be prepared.
Be prepared, and that's it.
Dude, I was a Cub Scout when I was a youth, man. I used to.
As was I.
A participant. So that's why I'm such a fine citizen. I'll tell you what, man. It's not my stepdaughter, but one of her friends was inducted into National Honor Society this past week, along with one of the athletes that I train. And both of them came over and said they could not believe how much of how cult-like it was. Like the lights got shut off, and they had to chant and do these lines and light these candles.
Oh.
Were you ever in National Honor Society, Riccardo?
I believe I was, but I don't think they did it quite like that in New York. I think they just had something where they gave us a piece of paper in the auditorium when we were kids. Yeah. I don't recall the cult-like aspect of it.
I don't either. I remember something with candles, but I don't remember. I don't remember it being like dark and chanting and stuff.
No, maybe that's the Wyalusing chapter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe they have different bylaws over there.
Yeah, it's possible. What else from Gripmas there, Alan? Anything noteworthy to share?
Just the medley was the last thing, and I'm not sure if this was going to be similar to what he had done last year, but I thought he indicated it was going to be somewhat climbing-based. I could be incorrect about that. I hadn't followed that thread very closely, but I thought it was going to be
he added a
along
bunch of challenges in there that were up off the ground. I know that. So there was like a
wow.
I remember Luke said something about like a pull-up, like a pinch pull-up or something like that. And
there you go.
You had to go from like the bottom rung to the second rung on the campus board. Some of those are getting skipped by me. I'm not breaking this finger again or whatever I did to it. Those are tests that are going to be beyond me. I think this year. I don't think I'm going to worry about those. But he's famous for making an extremely hard medley, and I wasn't there last year due to my back injury. So I can't tell you exactly what it was. I think Jason Gonzalez put up a video from the medley last year, and other than that, I don't think any video was taken. So, or at least I don't remember seeing any. But Chris is famous for, like, making the impossible medley. Like, I don't think I've ever been able to finish every single thing in the medley. I usually leave, like, because he'll put like a credit card close of a number 3 in there, and I've only done that like half a dozen times in my life, so I usually miss that one. But there will be bending, there might be a tear in there, some thick bar stuff, yeah, some like full deadlift stuff, loading onto platforms. There's usually the double anvil lift by the heel, 55-pound anvil lift. And then he'll have like these crazy odd objects too. Like there's something that he calls a tractor weight, which I don't know.
Well, I've seen that weird looking thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe the shape of it, Riccardo. It's kind of like curved. I mean, it almost looks like the side of a snow sleigh or a toboggan or something. Really, you know what I mean?
Pretty accurate, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But
I think that's what makes contests like that cool, is when they bring out all that cool, unique stuff that adds a different kind of flair to it, and I would think that makes it real exciting, especially for the people who go to those contests year after year. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. It's a lot of fun. If anybody wants to see like an example of the medley, I have all my medleys up from Gripmas from all the times I've been there, I'm pretty sure. So you can just search like Gripmas medley on my YouTube channel and it should pop up. Incidentally, in the first contest that Luke ever did here at my house, there was a phone book in there, a Tawanda phone book. It's like less than an inch thick and he couldn't tear it. So yeah, he missed that. So feel free to rub that in on the new homeowner.
There you go.
And then no indication on a 5th event, Alan. I know at one point it was being thrown around.
Not that I had seen at the latest, just those 4 that we discussed. So
It'll be fun to have to compete on something that I haven't trained on. So hopefully they'll throw something in there and it'll be stub-like.
And I hadn't heard who all the competitors were coming.
That's what I was just going to ask, Alan. I was just going to ask if you guys had a list of who's confirmed.
I didn't think.
The running list
Andrew
was on the grip board, but I didn't capture it, so I don't know. But I know Ches is making it. Nate Browse.
Andrew Pankey was going to be there.
Andrew Pankey. No Jake. I guess Jake's just being totally dominated right now by a new job. That's why he didn't do King Kong. I believe no Cody. Andrew Derniat's going to be there.
Cool.
Yeah. I've got something I got to give to Anthony for his collection. He got like a 1-inch pinch block. It's pretty sweet, made by Luke. And then the other thing that was cool was Chris asked everybody to bring something to donate as a prize. Did you guys see that?
I did see that.
Yeah, just bring something that you have that you'll donate and stuff like that. So I got to figure out what I want to take.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You have to figure that out, huh? You weren't going to bring the stub with?
Grip related or just anything?
I think it's supposed to be grip related. I don't know if that's definitely the case, but I mean, I'm not going to bring my old underwear or anything like that. I don't expect.
Good call. Good call. I didn't know if they meant like a gift card or something like that, or it's a grip related gift. I got it.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Sure, you could bring your stub ebook.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's written. It's it's ready to go. I'll put it on disc. Put it on an old CD, and that way no one will even remember how to access it.
How to access it. There you go.
So, all right. So that's Gripmas in the books. What other contests we got going on? Riccardo, do you want to talk about the upcoming Fit Expo?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So LA Fit Expo, it's going to be huge. It's the first weekend in January, and for those of you who've never been to the LA Fit Expo, it is beyond big. Last year they had over 60,000 attendees over the Saturday and Sunday. I mean, it is full of people. And the cool thing is, just incidentally, because of the people, there are sometimes over 1,000 people watching the grip contest, and not because they're necessarily diehard grip fans, but because there's cool stuff going on, and Ode has the strongman and grip kind of intertwined. So there are definitely like World's Strongest Man type guys that are there, and who've been on TV. So that part of it is cool because there's quite an audience. And this year Ode's cooked up something a little different on a couple ways, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Can you share what you're talking about there? Or
yeah. So basically he's going to have the arm lifting separate from the strongman, and he's going to have 4 events. So on Saturday, there's going to be Rolling Thunder, 3 attempts. Like powerlifting, there's going to be 3 judges. You've got to name your attempts, just like a powerlifting meet. 3 attempts, you make it or you miss it. Mm-hmm. Then there's the axle deadlift, same rules. Mm-hmm. Now, on the Rolling Thunder, if you make 90 kilos or more, and you want to compete against, your World's Strongest Man type guys for the money, it's going to be the Rolling Thunder World Championships. And so the opening weight will be 90 kilos. Any results will be kind of stricken from the record. Everyone will start with 90. And that is going to be last man standing, regardless of body weight, age, any of that. Mm-hmm. One big class, and I'm sure they'll take the arm lifters separate from the strongmen as far as the scoring goes. But the bottom line is that will be the World Championships, and I think it's $450 for the winner of the Rolling Thunder World Championships. There's some prize money there. I mean, it's significant.
Yeah, that'd just about cover your airfare coming from the East Coast. That's probably about
if you're lucky. Yeah, if you're lucky. And the hotels are not cheap either there in Los Angeles. So, it's like $250 a night if you're going to stay within the walking distance of the Staples Center. It's not cheap. So, wow. Yeah, and to add drama on Saturday, there'll be even more people at the LA Convention Center because the Staples Center, where the Lakers and the Clippers play, during the Saturday, the Clippers are playing the Golden State Warriors. So you'll have Curry and Durant in town, and there'll be even more thousands of people there. It's going to be a zoo. It's a 12:30 basketball game. If it was a night game, I probably would have tried to go after the contest, but it's a day game. So it'll be very, very crowded. And then for the axle deadlift, it's the same thing. If you pull 180 kilos or more, then you can go and compete with the strongman where the prize money is. So, again, open class, no weight categories. So that's kind of the Saturday. So a lot of thick bar on Saturday. Any questions on that before I move on to the Sunday?
No, and I actually like the 3 judges rule. We actually wanted to do that at NAGS on the deadlift, on the axle deadlift as well, and we never have actually acted upon it. But I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, I think it's great. We had that in Russia. It was very positive. When we went to Russia, we tried to take some good things away from that competition because there were a bunch of good things in the contest. And the 3 judges, it just made it crystal clear. They didn't have 3 judges for every event, unfortunately, but on the ones they did have 3 judges for, it definitely made the results more consistent, I'll say that. So that's Saturday, and in the arm lifting itself, there'll be 2 categories. There's going to be up to 100-kilo class and then an unlimited class as far as that goes. So I am actually attempting to make the 100-kilo class. So as I continue to lose weight, my strength seems to keep going up. So on a positive note for me, it's looking good. I don't know if I'll get there, but I'm getting closer. So that's the positive.
Impossible, right? That's impossible that you're losing weight and getting stronger.
Yeah, right.
Hasn't that already been confirmed? I thought.
Yes.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to beat a dead horse there. I saw an excellent meme, by the way, on the rehashing of the Joe Kinney controversy with the 600 kilos testosterone producing morning squats, and instead of beating a dead horse, it was it was flogging a beast bereft of life or something like that.
Wow.
An equine bereft of life. Yes, it was.
Yes.
It was
Thank
hilarious.
You,
I love the wording on that.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Then Sunday is going to be Silver Bullet, and this I think is going to really add some fun to the contest because you're going to get to do any gripper you want, number 4, 3.5, 3, 2.5, or 2. And so it's going to have an array of possibilities and obviously some strategy involved because the heavier grippers beat the lighter grippers. Mm-hmm. So that I think is going to be extremely interesting to see how that plays out. And then last event
to possibly create a world record for the 3.5 then.
Yeah, I don't think it's been done in the contest. Right. So
well, it has been, but not with a brand new 3.5 that I know of.
Okay, well I'll bring that
with 3.5s in the past, back in like 2014, but they were not new. They were not new out of the package.
Got it. Well, these will be new out of the package. I'm sure Randy will be there himself, so I can bring that to his attention that this may in fact be the first time that it's happened like this for a contest, and he can do what he likes with it. Iron Mind obviously is a fantastic company. It's his company, and if he wants to call it a record, then that's great. I'm not sure if Alexi is going yet. I actually sent him a message, and he said, I try to go. That was his response. So, because my Silver Bullet has been doing quite well of late. So, we'll just have to see what happens.
Like a second or two every time you train that thing.
Yeah, I've been doing a rotation of different kinds of grippers and stuff, and I do seem to be creeping my way up there. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes down. But yeah, I'm feeling like my training so far has been quite good for that event. So, and then last but not least is the 3-inch Saxon bar with the Rogue wheels. So not a full deadlift from the floor because those wheels are a little taller than a regular plate.
Right.
So I think it's a nice contest. It's got thick bar, it's got pinch, and it's got grip, endurance with the grippers. I think it's a well thought out, and those are all good events for me. So I'm excited. I've been training super hard, and I'm really not sure who's going to the contest yet. Ode's in Sweden right now, so he's over there in Sweden. So maybe I'll ask for an update for the next time we get together on a show if he can send me the start list so I can talk about who's already confirmed. I know Eric is going, Eric Hussein, so he'll be there.
Cool.
Yeah. So
is Ode at a competition in Sweden, or is he doing?
No.
Kind of business?
One of his friends wrote a book, and a famous strongman promoter named Ulf Bengston, and he wanted Ode to be there because Ode wrote about him in some of his autobiography. He wrote about Ode in some of his autobiography, so he wanted Ode to be there, so he flew over there for the book unveiling. He's a pretty big celebrity in Sweden, this guy, Ulf Bengston. So, yeah, and he's one of Ode's good buddies. So Ode went over there for that.
Sweet.
So,
sweet.
Yeah, and I will tell you, Ode is in ridiculous shape after having his second hip replacement, Jedd. So if you're going to break his inch dumbbell record, you better get to it because he deadlifted 200 kilos on the axle when I went down to train with him 2 weeks ago and held it there for about 5 seconds. So
that's solid.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can break his record. I tried it. I tried it again this week. I want to say it was Wednesday morning, and I only did like 10 reps with my right hand. Instead I was doing Fat Man Blob with my right hand and doing inch with the left. And
wow.
My camera stopped halfway through. It totally failed. Luke captured it, and he's trying to upload it, but the file's so huge he's having trouble with internet to get it uploaded. So I don't even know. I don't have any idea how many reps I did. I totally lost count because I was trying to count my left hand inch reps and my right hand blob reps in my head, And then eventually I did start doing lifts with my right hand, but I have no idea how many I got on the inch. Could have been 40, could have been 100. I have no idea. Really have no idea. It was so sporadic.
So you were in the zone.
I was in the zone. I was feeling good, but I can tell you right now, because I was lifting the inch a lot more times with my left hand than my right, my left hamstrings were totally wiped out. Way more than my right. It was crazy.
Wow, that's your feats with the inch lately have been very, very impressive. Very impressive.
Well, it helps that that's pretty much all I'm training. That, and I did some two-hand pinch work, but my right ring finger was bothering me the last time I did that, so I haven't even done much of that. So it's really just down to that and maybe a couple, Blobzilla, stuff like that. So I'm just getting really good at those things because that's all I'm training. But, yeah.
Why are you doing that right now?
I'm sorry?
Why are you just sticking with those couple things right now? Is it because of what you did to your finger, or?
Just my finger. I can do tick bar, so I actually just shot a brand new workout of the month for TGA, and it had, I think, 4 thick bar drills in it, and
nice.
It was my finger. I just didn't test my right finger, but I have used the handle that I used in that workout several times, and it didn't bother me. So I think I could have. I just didn't do it. But I've been doing thick bar, and I've been doing block weights, and that's about it that I've been doing consistently, because everything else, anything dynamic hurts it, and as long as it's static, it's okay. So, and then I just, it was sore. It was just sore this week, and I took that to mean that it was just overworked, but at the same time, I was sick at the beginning of the week this week and at the end of the week this week with 2 different illnesses. So it could have just been like body aches going through my body too, because my triceps were really sore and I didn't really work those that hard. So I don't know. Who knows? But
wow.
Basically it comes down to the stuff. That's the stuff that doesn't make my finger hurt.
Wow. Hey, Jedd, I forgot to say on air, but happy birthday today.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I am 27 years old today, so I feel really good. That's a lie.
Fantastic.
I am 39. But something that is totally truth is I just searched for hashtag This Week in Grip, which is the hashtag that we use here on this podcast, and we are up just shy of 700 posts. It is 692 posts for This Week in Grip on Instagram right now.
Yep, that's what I had too.
692. Great.
That's fantastic.
Great stuff. Lots of good stuff going on. So just a reminder, everybody, if you want us to see your feats, you can use the hashtag This Week in Grip, and please like the video. We're getting like 250 views and like 12 likes again, which I think we can get a few more likes in there. So please hit the thumbs up, and it's up to you whether or not you subscribe. I'm not going to pressure you to do that, but I do appreciate if you would put a like on the video. That would be outstanding. And next week, I actually brought this up that we were going to possibly talk about the inch dumbbell. So if anybody has any questions about the inch dumbbell, please leave a comment below, and we can answer that in the call next week. What other contests do we need to talk about, dudes? I know there's more stuff coming up.
Yep.
Hey,
the
Alan?
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say I want to give a shout out to 2 people real quick, Jedd, and I think you've been involved with them a bit as well. But there are some guys in the country of Chile that are starting up arm lifting. Mm-hmm. A guy by the name of Bruno and another guy named Ignacio are starting up arm lifting way south. And I think that's pretty exciting, and I just kind of wanted to give them a little shout-out on the podcast. They've been emailing me all kinds every day, asking me questions and stuff. They seem like super nice guys. I know, Jedd, they've been in contact with you as well, I think, on Facebook.
Yeah, the Bruno guy has. I don't know about the other dude, if he has. I was actually talking to a guy in Madrid earlier this week as well, and he's a lot better with Spanish, so I've been conversing with him in Spanish, but it's tough because Madrid, like Spanish, like actual Spanish.
Yeah, it's different.
Spanish
it's different.
Spain, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying half the time because I've never seen these constructions, so that's been tough, but it's been interesting. Yeah, it's definitely growing and spreading throughout the world.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Bruno told me that he watched the YouTube video of me lifting in Russia at the World Championships, and then he and his buddy Ignacio just decided to start some kind of arm lifting federation there in Chile. I thought that was really cool how, you know, you, me, Alan, a bunch of other guys were all excited about this, and look what it does. Other people latch onto it. It's super fun. It's super exciting to hear that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do they have a name for their cause yet down there? Have they
I think it's like Arm Lifting Chile or something, but I can I'm not sure. They have a Facebook group. Jedd's on there, and I'm on there. I can send it to you as well, Alan. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but I will figure out how to get you into it somehow. I'm not really sure, but I'll try it. And if it doesn't work, tell me it didn't work. In other words, if you don't hear anything about it, then send me a message and I'll try it again.
I told them one of the first things they need to do is they need to get a stub down there. Get working on that.
El Corto. That's it. El Corto.
El Corto.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just what they need. They're more interested in, I think, traditional things like pinch blocks and rolling handles. And the Bruno put up today, he did a 180-kilo double overhand deadlift on a regular bar today. Or yesterday, he put that up. So good for him.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. I mean, and that's good. I mean, they want to hold a contest soon. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Okay, Alan, sorry for that quick interruption, but back to you on the contest, Alan. What else you got cooking on the contest? What else you want to talk about?
Okay, so coming up on December 16th, there's the 2017 Northwest Rolling Thunder Championships. This is Todd Beecraft's long-running contest. It sounds like it's been going on since 2001, so it's been around for quite a while. This one's actually going to benefit a local animal shelter there in Oregon. It's going to be December 16th at 1 p.m. at the Inner Beast CrossFit. That's an awesome name for a gym if I've ever heard one. Inner Beast CrossFit in Oregon City, Oregon. It's donations for the entry fee. They're looking for things like dog beds, blankets, dog food, cash. A few of the events going to have the hub, Rolling Thunder, and double overhand Apollon's axle. So a couple of really nice events there. I like those style of events. It sounds like they're going to do I think they're going to have the Crush to Dust Challenge and some other stuff. There's going to be some raffle prizes. So that should be a good one, and for a good cause. It's been around for a while. It's going to be Todd Beecraft running it. It sounds like MC Thomas, and I believe the other guy was Mark Wechter. I'm hoping I'm getting that name right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like 3 people will be involved in that. So it should be a good contest. Guys, done it in a while. So.
Yeah, too bad that's not closer. It's probably about 14 hours away from me. Otherwise, I could possibly go up there. But that's
funny you say that.
Seems like a good one to investigate for sure.
That's what I thought too, and everything is almost 14 hours away from me. There's just nothing ever that shows up close. So
you need to have the Alan Grip Invitational, dude.
That's funny. I definitely do have enough equipment. That's something that's been on my radar. It's just been a matter of getting the time to pull it off, but it's definitely on the list. So.
Dude, do it during the summer if you have more time. If the heating and ventilation is that's easier to less repairs then you just pick a date and make sure your wife thinks it's good and then go with it.
Yeah, yep. No, I was. It's funny you were saying that because I was playing with times of the year to do it, and I could never quite figure it out. I was actually trying to think of a trendy name too, and then Andrew Pankey actually, who just announced a contest is going to be coming up in the same weekend as the Vice Grip Viking Challenge on January 6th. He came up with the Northern Freeze competition, which I thought was just a fantastic name. So, and that's actually one that's on my radar to go to. I don't know if you guys had any familiarity with that contest coming up.
I did read. I read his description of it briefly, but obviously I'm already kind of booked for that weekend.
Sure. Well, it's going to be at Andrew Pankey's place. He's going to be having the 2 3/8 inch Andrew's axle, the Iron Mine hub, the World of Grip lever top, and then blobs. So these are actually some interesting events. I'm not so sure about the World of Grip lever top and what he actually has in mind for the blobs as of this point. But the axle sounds interesting, and the hub I quite like. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to get up there for this one. It came up a little sooner than I was expecting it to based on the initial Facebook post. But that's my plan anyway.
Cool. Now, he lives by Detroit. How far is that from you in Wisconsin?
That's 8 hours. that's an 8-hour
it's relatively close then, Alan. It's like around the corner.
It's half the distance of the last one. So, yeah, that should be a real easy one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's driving to the Arnold Classic for me. About 8 hours.
Well,
yeah. Is that how far, Jedd, the Gripmas is from Wyalusing? 8 hours, or is it more?
No, it's not. It's not quite as far as that. I want to say that if I remember correct, I might have them mixed up. Maybe Gripmas is 8 hours and Columbus is shorter, but either way, we go to Paul's first, and then we stay overnight and get up in the morning. And I want to say it's only like an hour from Paul's to Chris's, so it should only be about 6 hours for Gripmas. Columbus is much farther south, if I recall correctly.
Right on.
Hey, what was the contest that was going on this weekend? That there was like a side competition on the number 4 Silver Bullet that it came up in the Grip Strength group. Uni Mahonen posted about it. Did you guys see that?
No, did not see it. Didn't know about it.
I missed it too.
He mentioned it probably Friday, I want to say, and it was going on in conjunction with some other type of endeavor. It was like a boxing match or something like that.
Oh, there was some MMA thing he posted on YouTube today. I think it was MMA that he posted today on Facebook. Maybe it was boxing, but I didn't know there was a grip thing involved with that. I just figured that's, it's cold in Finland right now. They were watching some MMA or local MMA or something.
Right. No, I thought I grabbed some information on it, but I'm trying to find the Grip Strength group right now. There it is. Usually comes right up on top, and I can tell you what it said here. Wow, there's more posts here. It's buried more than I thought it was. Gee whiz. I know I saw it. There's a lot of participation going on in the Grip Strength group on Facebook these days. If people aren't in that group, you should really join that group. Sorry it's taking so long, guys.
I saw him put something out there, but I thought he was just playing around with whatever. I didn't realize it was an actual event that was going on.
Yeah, no, I might have. Let me check my Twig notes, because I keep a list of Twig notes in my email. Maybe I grabbed that.
Hey, on a quick side note, you guys seen that paper challenge thing that's been going around on Instagram a lot lately? Where people
I saw Gil do it, and I'm surprised Jedd didn't comment about Eric's Norwegian interpretation
he nailed
of the paper challenge.
That's where I was heading with this one.
Commented.
I know, Alan.
He stole it.
I remember the incident. It's like a flashbulb memory. It's like the Challenger incident. It's like the first time, that I watched a professional baseball game live. I was watching him as I was taking a leak downstairs before the 4 p.m. training session on Wednesday, and sure enough, he scoped my ass while I was taking a leak.
I never saw that coming. Not for a second.
Yeah, that was interesting.
No, I didn't see it coming either.
Little cross-cultural action there from the tricky skateboarder / sprinter / grip athlete.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, good. He's good. I don't know if I ever told you the story, but in February when he was competing here, we were doing the Silver Bullet, and I think he was in my way, and I said, "Hey, Eric, can you move?" And he goes, "Sorry, didn't mean to clock block you." Which is pretty damn funny, considering that he's Norwegian and English is his second language, and he was able to jump. I mean, it was no delay. He's like, "Oops, sorry, didn't mean to clock block you."
Yeah, let me tell you something. All those guys, because I've been communicating a lot with these Scandinavian guys, every single one of them, their English is fantastic. You know, it's amazing. It must be a testament to the school systems there and the culture to learn and the desire to learn English. Russia, not so much, but these Scandinavians, the Norwegians, the Finns, most of them, their English is perfect. It's really impressive.
Cool. That's cool, man. That's really cool. And I'm wondering if maybe that wasn't in the, I guess maybe it wasn't in the grip strength group. Maybe it was just on his Facebook. But he did say that he went. I can't even find the post now. Yesterday it was a nice trip to be watching boxing with Lark Water to whoop ass. You know, I just feel like I'm going to be in the old days, some beautiful day, throw a shirt in the corner and take a good beating for once. So there's no real mention of the silver bullet, although there is pictures of a dude trying to lift anvil with a double horn on there. So I don't know. Maybe it was like the severe thumb injury that he took before King Kong of grip. Maybe he was just pulling the wool over our eyes, just tugging, just playing around. I don't know, because now I'm not seeing that post anywhere.
Yeah, well, hard to say. Yeah, I mean, I can ask one of the other Finnish guys because he does not speak very good English. Joni Mahonen. He is not so much on English.
Right.
But I can ask some of the other guys. But I think they're kind of on a hiatus until the Finnish National Grip Championships in February. From what I understand, They're not having any more contests until February over there. I mean, maybe this was an informal thing, but the Finnish championships are in February.
Cool. You spoke about the paper challenge, Alan. Did you see the Black Flag Strength and Fitness Challenge that's out there?
No, I didn't.
I did, yeah.
It's just picking up a ring, like a Denny ring type implement. What are the details on that, Riccardo? Do you recall?
Yeah, pick up the biggest one you can. I mean, so basically it's like, so the Black Flag is in Utah. I think it's about 15 minutes away from Brian Hunsaker's place. And it's a pro Highland Games athlete that is the owner of that gym. And I think he's going to make an assault on lifting the Denny stones as well. And I think if you read Brian's post of last week, not only does he want to go back and lift them, but he wants to go back and actually carry them, like pick them up, not just drag them on the ground, but like
farmers
physically, pick them up and carry them. So
I think he could do it.
Oh, the guy is very strong. So yeah. I think if he's going to set his mind to it, that's one of the focuses that he has, I think he's going to be very successful. So I think the hard part is the actual moving with the implements. So I think he's going to get some stones made that he can practice with. And I don't know what it dimensions or whatever, but yeah, I think he's working on getting some of those stones made. I think the Black Flag Gym is also working on getting some different stones made so that they have a couple pairs to practice with.
Cool.
So Denny stones in Utah, it's an addiction right now. It's a big deal. They're fired up about them over there.
Did you guys see the Denny Stone stuff that Rob Blair posted? They had like a stone lifting competition.
No, I did not see that.
It was at the Commando Temple, I believe. It was the British Stone Lifting Championships held at Deptford's Commando Temple. Event 1 was the Husafell stone carry for max distance. Stone must be lifted from the floor. You'll be given a 1-minute time period to lift the stone from an 18-inch box in the starting area. Your distance starts as soon as you leave the starting area. Event 2, Atlas stone over bar. Techie will be allowed. Ladies go to 40 inches, men to 48 inches, 60-second time limit. 3, natural stone medley, no tacky, 75 seconds to move 3 progressively heavier stones across a 10-meter course. Event 4, stone press, 60 seconds to lift the stone to chest or shoulder height and then press overhead as many times as possible. Event 5, Denny stone lift and timed hold. You have the option of a single stone lift with one hand for time or 2 stones for time. 3 attempts will be allowed. You can increase your weight, but if you fail the attempt, you cannot choose a lighter weight. 2-stone lift will always beat a single stone, regardless of time lifted. If 2 stones are lifted, the heaviest combination wins. You can choose which stone or combination of stones to lift from the following list: 83 kilos, 107.4 kilos, 139 kilos, 203 kilos. He says that Megan Manzi won the sub 70 kilo class for the ladies. Maya Shalchi won the opens at a body weight of 62 kilograms. Maya walked the 70 kilogram, walked 70 kilograms. It might be 70 meters with the Husfeld stone, smashed 6 reps on the 77 kilogram Atlas stone in 60 seconds, won the medley 11 reps on the natural stone overhead, and did a combination lift on the Denny stones of 83 and 107. They had 19 competitors. Heaviest guy was 165 kilos. Reuben Hughes, the grip legend from Wales, was competing too. He came second in the sub-90s to a landscape gardener, Nathan Waterfield. So again, all these manual laborers just kicking ass over there. The open men's was won by service policeman Ryan French, who was that's Kyle French, I'm sorry. The best 145 kilogram Husfeld walk was 80 meters. The best 140 kilogram Atlas stone for reps in 1 minute was 9. The most presses with the 76 kilo awkward natural stone was 12. The best Denny lift on traditional handles was 203 kilos and 139 kilos combined, heavier than the traditional Denny's, completed by 2 guys. Paul Marsh, who also holds the current single-hand deadlift world record in the sub-83 kilo class, was one of them at 89 kilograms body weight. So I want to thank Paul Blair for sending those blurbs in for covering that contest, because the videos were awesome. He put the videos up, and man, it was I don't know much about the Denny stones, the actual sizes and weights and stuff, but anytime you're lifting stones like that, it's so awkward and so intense, and the videos really showed that. And the crowd, the audience there, probably the other competitors were very supportive of the people lifting. It's what you would expect from any strongman or grip contest that I know of. So it was really, really cool. And if you can dig up those videos on either Rob Blair's Facebook or maybe the Commando Temple's Instagram, then I think it'll be worth your time to check them out, because it was pretty cool, very intense.
Wow, sounds like a lot of stones being lifted that day. Busy day.
Yeah, I've never been to a contest where it was 4 or 5 events and they were all stone related. I think I've been to events where as strongman there were maybe two different stone events, but not the whole competition. So that's pretty cool.
That's an interesting idea for sure. It's definitely different. So cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, man. I wanted to make sure to get that in there since he took the time to write everything up. I really appreciate it when people do that. Alan, were there any other competitions that we wanted to highlight coming up?
There is. Just
Really?
Wanted to bring up the 3rd annual Southern Squeeze. That's the last one. I guess it's going to be coming up right away in the new year. January 13th at the Southern Squeeze Gym in Nashville. Looks like 20 millimeter grippers, 1-hand flask, and 2.5-inch trilobite handle. $25 entry fee before December 19th, $30 after. Looks like all competitors get a Southern Squeeze T-shirt and awards for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. That's one put on by Gil Goodman and Maria Bisquetta. I imagine it's going to be a large one. I know their first contest was huge. I wasn't so sure about I think the second one they had a good turnout too, so this should be a lot of fun for those guys. This was also one that I was hoping to get down to one of these days, but I'm not sure that's going to happen this year. Hopefully next year for me. We'll see. You guys, either of you guys been to one of those yet?
I have not been.
Okay.
No, sir.
Well, it should be a lot of fun. I really like his choice of events. It's neat to see the 2.5-inch trilobite handle. He's going to be having that on there, and I'm glad to see that he's taken over production of those handles too, because that's one I was looking to get another 2-inch handle, just the handle itself for mine, and then Mammoth Grip Tools, of course, went out of business right away, so it's nice seeing him picking up that line and getting those back in production too. Pretty comfortable.
Well, yeah, quality handles, so, and it's nice that they're interchangeable. It really is. So.
Yes. Yep.
I've never taken
otherwise,
apart. I don't even know how to do it, but I know that there's other handles that I have in my collection that are kind of a pain in the ass to take apart. So if they're easy to take apart, that's a bonus too.
Yeah, it's simple. It's well made, well thought out for sure.
Awesome.
So otherwise, I guess ones to get on the calendar for everybody. There's the 2018 Canadian Grip Sport Nationals. That's February 24th. There's Nate Browse's SJ's 4 for February. That's also on the 24th. And then the Spring Clench, it's Jason Steve's competition, coming up on March 31st. And then I'm sure, Jedd, you got one coming up. That's usually you do one in February, don't you?
Yes, I'm sure that we will do one this year, and I believe it will be the first, second in February, because there is a chance that I will be going to Dubai again in the middle of the month. So
nice.
We're going to get that contest done at the beginning. We haven't finalized the events, but we're looking at Napalm's Nightmare, and
nice.
we're not going to use weight on it. We're going to use a scale. We're going to use a crane scale. So you'll just hook up, take your grip, and pull as hard as you can. And the crane scale that we have gives a readout of your maximum pull that you were able to execute onto the handle. So it'll be a lot less work. We won't have to use calibrated weights and stuff like that. And then also it's going to be safer. Shouldn't have as many back injuries or tweaks and things like that. There is a chance that a weight you could end up dropping it on your toe, I suppose, if you took a narrow stance. So it's safer in that way. So it's going to be pretty cool, and it is so quick. That's exactly how I ran that event, as well as a couple other events at the September side grip challenge that I did up at that arm wrestling tournament in Syracuse in September.
Syracuse, yeah.
And it worked out freaking awesome, man. Totally awesome. It's basically a grip contest in a box. If you can take your it's basically a piece of plywood with a hook. You connect your scale to that hook. You connect a carabiner to the other end of the scale. The readout comes out. You're able to see it on a display. You just pull as hard as you can, and there's no weights. There's no nothing. You don't have to take any of that stuff with you. It's just the equipment, the carabiner, scale, board, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So
more to come out as we get everything figured out. He's been busy with his house, and I've been sick every other day. So.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Alan?
Well, so when a person steps up to take their attempt, how long do they get? You know, since it's done a different style, you know, you just kind of pull, they get a few seconds to really crank on it, or how does that?
Yeah, you're not gonna pull for much longer than 5 or 6 seconds before.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna run out of gas. And
okay.
Put it on the setting where you can pull on it for 30 seconds, and the only number that's going to be there is the number that was the highest reading.
Nice.
The max.
Okay.
That's cool. What a cool idea.
Yeah. We came up with that. We came up with that in the car ride coming back from somewhere. Maybe I don't know where we were going or coming from, but we came up with it on a car ride, and super easy, man.
Hey, and let me tell all the listeners out there, Jedd, if they don't use that Napalm's Nightmare, and this is an unplanned plug for your device, that thing is fantastic. I cannot comment as to how good that device is. I've been using it in my build-up here for the axle at the Fit Expo. It is indispensable. It is fantastic. It's bulletproof, that thing, easy to change the handles, and I'm pretty sure it's going to help me break 400 in the axle in Los Angeles. Very good device.
I really appreciate that feedback, Riccardo, and it is totally unprompted. So I really appreciate it. And, you know, I have to thank Luke. Well, there's a couple people I have to thank. First off, I brought that idea up to Chris Rice years ago, and he helped me put it together. And we used, you know, very simple welding and PVC handles. And it was good that way, but I always knew it could be better. And then in work and just talking about it one day with Luke, we were able to design it out on a marker board and figure it all out, and it works great. So I'm really excited about it. We've got a small inventory in, and I'm working on getting an email out and a sales page out so people can grab them, because right now people have been emailing us or Facebook messaging us for orders. So yeah, thanks a lot for the good word there, Riccardo. I appreciate it, and I definitely hope that it helps you out with your performance at the Fit Expo.
Oh, it will. And let me tell you something. I think for the people, you know, and I'm not saying I fit into this group, but a lot of people have talked about back injuries. I know you had one. By putting that weight in between your feet, it does take some of the pressure off the low back, and it can really let you overload the grip. And that's kind of maybe an unobserved, at least, benefit at first is you can put some weight on there, and that can really challenge the grip, and which is the whole point of what I'm using it for, is to overload and develop my grip so I can hang on to the axle. And I just recently did an axle triple last week at PR, and it was very easy, and it's because I've been using this device. I'm very sure of it. Cool. So, yeah.
Cool. Alan, did you have something coming up that you had to go to? Because if you need to run, you can go ahead and do that. If there's anything else you wanted to share or whatever, and then we can wrap it up for you, buddy.
No, I'm good for a bit yet. The only thing I wanted to add about contests is if there's anybody out there that knows any of these that are coming up, if they could pass them on to one or all of us, because the way things seem to work on Facebook and Instagram, we don't necessarily see, at least I don't necessarily see that stuff in real time. It seems to skip around sometimes even days at a time. So a lot of these really slip through the cracks. You know, I just don't see them until some of them have actually passed by, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with people like tagging us and sending links to stuff, because I do not get on the grip board much, so I rely on Alan and Riccardo to see that stuff. And then I haven't been on Instagram as much lately because I haven't had the time to do it. So I'm not like obsessively combing for feats right now. So that stuff can really slip by any of us. So it's not that we're not looking for this stuff actively or anything. It's just that when we do, we don't necessarily see it. I mean, I go on Instagram sometimes and I see stuff that happened 5 days ago. So I don't know what the heck is going on with that.
Yeah, and it's like first on the feed.
Yeah, it's first on the feed, and it was 5 days ago. So there was one day, the one thing I know of is there was a push for like signing up for notifications on Instagram a long time ago. And I was like, what is that? So I signed up for Timmy's feats, notifications on Timmy's Instagram. And now I get all of his as soon as they happen. And sometimes he'll put up like 6 videos from a training session, so it's cool.
Yeah.
You can't do that for everybody. So I'll never be offended if someone tags me or sends me a link to some kind of a feat that they're proud of that we can share on here, because I'd rather give people recognition for the hard work they're putting in. I mean, like Timmy lifted the 50-pound blob for the first time, got a facelift.
I saw that. That was very impressive.
Yep, James Retorides with a blob lift over the weekend. I saw that Bob,
and then he did the plate. Did you see his plate pinch?
Farmers. I didn't see it, but I saw that Bob reported it. So that's good. I mean, that's a day, man. That's called having a day when you do the blob lift for the first time and then carry farmers walks, 245s in each hand, farmers walks. That's crazy.
And then he also pinched 6 5-kilo plates with a stick in between them.
Yep, I saw that too. That was on like the top above the fold on Instagram for the posts for the This Week in Grip posts. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Hey, Alan and Jedd, there was another contest, and I don't know much details about it, but there's a guy, he's a rock climber guy. Are you familiar with this guy, Karl August Mertz, Mertz? I think he's from Austria. This is a strong dude. He posted on Instagram this morning that he won some contest, and one of them, it had inch lifts. Jedd, you'd get your attention there. It had a bunch of different events, and I know he's the record holder on the stirrup for a Gills barrel strain stirrup. I know he's a rock climber background, and I know I've never communicated with him really much, but he's super strong. And there was some bending going on, whatever, but he won the contest. I don't even know if it was in Austria or Germany or even where it was, but I know that he won that one for whatever it was. So if you want more info, you can look on his Instagram on that one.
Well, I'm just sliding down his Facebook here, and there's something on here that Christian Schmidt breaks Rolling Thunder world record on the Iron Mind site from November 17th. I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, that's for the pull-ups. For the pull-ups, I think she did 7 or 8 Rolling Thunder pull-ups.
Okay. All right. So it didn't say pull-up here. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was, and so that's the lady that we talked about then. Okay.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, she's super fit, and she's very strong. I'm sure there's some American CrossFitters, if they knew about the amount of CrossFit that goes on here, if they knew about Rolling Thunder, I'm sure they could give that pull-up record a go. But
no doubt about it, yeah.
She's very good at those pull-ups for sure.
I see. You're working on the sledge choke here, Riccardo, putting some sled choke vids up.
Yeah, I'm doing a little wrist action. I'm pretty sure that that is what's limiting me on my thick bar lifts. I've gotten a couple expert opinions on that. So when I had the training session with Ode and Brian Hunsaker and Carl 2 weeks ago, so they did some inch lifting, and I allowed the inch to be pinned to the floor. And the general conclusion was my hands are certainly strong enough to pick it up, but my wrist was unfolding right there. So I've been trying to hit the wrist from different angles to increase Rolling Thunder, increase axle, to beat the inch the next time, because I've lifted 76 kilos on my inch trainer, but it's not the same as lifting it with the globes. It's just not the same idea. So, yeah. So in order to not have the inch stapled to the floor the next time I do it, I've been doing a little sledgehammer action.
Cool.
Among other things.
What inch trainer do you have?
I don't know. I bought it used from some guy in Sacramento. It's I can take a picture of it, Alan, later and send it to you. It's it's a pipe with a loadable dumbbell. I think it was made by FBBC, but like 20 years, 15 years ago or something, like old.
Okay. So you don't have the one with the bolted style handle that they make.
No. This thing is awesome. It's like a real dumbbell, and I use collars to load it up, and it's very good. I can send also you the video of when I did 76 kilos for one. It's a thick-handed dumbbell, like about 2.5 inches thick, like a little bigger than a Rolling Thunder or whatever. But the inch lifting, and Jedd's a master of it, so he can tell you there's a different kind of force it puts on the wrist that I am particularly not good at. So, Jedd, you want to talk about that? I know you want to talk about the inch next week, but
yeah, I definitely want to talk about the inch next week. But the way around that is if your wrist gives out on that, then you have to have a tremendously strong thumb. So I was highly dependent on pinching the inch when I first started training it, because I had no wrist strength. And it really wasn't until I started working some wrist strength in there maybe like 3 years ago that I was actually able to start like farmers walking the inches on a regular basis. And by regular basis, I might mean successfully 1 out of 5 times. So that was kind of when I started getting a little bit better result. I could pick it up, and I could if I could straddle it and lift it, I could pick it up all the time just one at a time. But it wasn't until I started getting a little bit stronger wrists, because the thumb just wasn't doing enough for me to just maintain my grip there when I was going for the suitcase style lift, because it sits so far outside of your body. You have to have strong enough wrists in order to maintain your grip on there. So yeah, that's actually a facet of the workout of the month that I just did the other day as well. So
cool.
It's interesting that you said that. Yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest, I felt like I felt like I was in junior varsity when I was there, because Ode doesn't need to practice lifting the inch dumbbell. He just looks at it and it jumps off the ground. Brian lifted it very easily, and Carl Myerscow lifted it with each hand like it was about 100 pounds. I can tell you, I don't know if Carl's listening, but Carl will be able to clean the inch dumbbell whenever he decides to try it with a little bit of practice. He's that strong.
That's awesome.
And
awesome.
For those of you who don't know who he is, he's England's national record holder in the shot put. He's 6'10" and about 360 pounds, and very well put together.
Monster.
I mean, he is a very large human being. So, yeah. So expect some big lifts out of Carl at the Fit Expo, because he'll be there.
Cool, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of feats, what about Alexi? Did you guys see Alexi's 617 double overhand deadlift with a regular bar, and like it was nothing? Held it for like 7-8 seconds at the top.
I don't think I saw that. Where was that shared at? What platform?
On his YouTube channel, The Fin, F-I, and then F-I with 3 N's, N-N-N.
Nope, I didn't
Fin.
see that. I didn't see that. I'm not really good with descriptions on YouTube, to be honest with you.
It might lower your self-esteem if you watch it, Jedd. It was very easy.
That's about 102 pounds or so, at least 100 pounds or so, more than I've ever done double overhand. So that is a tremendous lift.
Yeah, I know Brian. I think Brian Hunsaker has lifted in the 6s. I don't know where exactly, around 600, maybe low 6s, double overhand. But Alexi did it and just held it there to allow the video camera. This is how easy it was. Allow the video man to come to show that he wasn't hook gripping, so the guy could get in there and look at it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Alexi has a bit of, I don't want to use the term taunting, but he likes to have fun with the lifts. I've lifted against him twice. Like a couple years ago when he won the 2015 Fit Expo, he and Ode were both going for 220 kilos on the axle, 484. Ode missed. Alexi stepped up and did it, and then shrugged it a couple times at the top.
Shrugged it, yeah.
Yeah, and he wasn't necessarily being a jerk. I mean, maybe a little, but he just let everyone know it was pretty easy weight for him. I mean, it was unbelievable to see that in person. Unbelievable. So he's a strong dude. He's a very, very strong dude. And so I hope he comes, actually, to L.A. He didn't come last year. I hope he comes this year. So.
Cool.
But that's to be determined, I guess.
What do you know? I'm probably gonna butcher this name, Riccardo, but I think you might know.
Yeah.
Dali Zhang.
Oh, Dolly, yeah, that's one of Clay's training partners. Dolly in Santa Cruz. I never met him, but he seems like a super cool guy. And Clay has got quite a grip movement going there in Santa Cruz. I think Dolly is going to lift at the LA Fit Expo. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he's been mixing it up, doing all kinds of things. He's been doing some hubs, some dumbbells, some Saxon bar they were hitting the other day. So, no, he's a cool guy. I'm supposed to go to Santa Cruz. I may go there one day for a training session before LA if I can fit it into my calendar. If I can, then I'm not going to go. But I was supposed to go over Thanksgiving break, but then I had to go to this week. I was supposed to go last Saturday, to be honest. But then I had to go instead to Camarillo, which is 2 hours south. It's 10 minutes from O's gym for some teacher meetings this week. So I couldn't be away all those times. There's too much going on in my house with 3 teenagers. So I had to tell Clay and his peeps, I had to say, look, I need to reschedule. So I'm going to make it there soon to train with Clay and the troops. I just don't know when. It's about 3 hours away. it's just a matter of time where I can figure everything out, where we don't have 8 million sporting events for my kids. So,
well, Dolly picked up I think the bull rings this past week, and then he just popped up on the Instagram results for the hashtag This Week in Grip, which again I'll remind everybody, go ahead and use that hashtag and make sure you hit the like on the video, and it'll help us out. And I can see that he's incorporating grip strength training with, it looks like his personal training clients here, even some seasoned ladies in the gym, doing some double rolling thunder work and some plate pinching and everything like that. So that's pretty cool.
Those older ladies are super strong. They competed at one of the San Jose Fit Expos a couple years ago, and I don't know if Dolly was coaching them yet because I hadn't met him or whatever, but they came and they competed, and they were super strong. I mean, they're pretty impressive.
That's cool. That's awesome, man. Grip's for everybody. Grip is definitely for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Alan, were you the one that figured out what kind of York dumbbells those were that Joel Dirks had?
Yeah, he sent me a video. Those were the ones that he was playing with were some York Legacies. They were they were really, really worn. It was hard to actually identify them right away, but they looked pretty. They were well used, even polished in a few areas. So I was trying to gauge the difficulty of some of those. I was kind of torn. You know, they're a little. The Legacies look a little wider than the standard. You know, well, I shouldn't say standard, but some of the older dumbbells. So that gives it one challenge aspect. But the one thing I couldn't quite get past, you know, is that the Legacies seem to run just a little lighter, though, than the older Yorks that we'd seen. You know, for example, if you took a 60-pound one, you know, like what Brian Shaw had, well, that thing might have weighed as much as 63, 64 pounds, for all we know. You know, whereas the 60-pound Legacy, though it's wider, might just come in at 60, if not be just a hair on the light side. So I was kind of torn. You know, my gut feel was that the width was going to make it harder, but it was just a little tough to tell, you know. And the Legacies tended to have a little bit more texture too. But then again, the ones Joel Dirks was using, I mean, those things look like they'd been beaten around pretty good, so they look pretty smooth to me. So a little tough to say. I think his were, you know, to me that feet, that's a standalone, that's a different style of feet. You know, that's like hubbing a standard plate versus hubbing a York deep dish versus hubbing one of those milled Yorks. It's just they're different feats in themselves. Hard, and they deserve that recognition, but it's not an apples to apples comparison, in my opinion. No.
I would agree that there's a high variety between all those dumbbells.
But yeah, it looked like it looked tough. I think he nailed a 55, and I don't think he could palm the 60. So I could be wrong about that, or they didn't have it. So I can't remember what that said, but yeah, quite the feat nonetheless.
You know, Eric in Jebbertson is also I don't know if he's going up in strength, but as he's dropping weight, he isn't losing much. So you could be onto something, Riccardo, with your increased strength at lower body weight platform.
All I do is I think about those guys who were trolling me on the grip board a couple weeks ago, and then that's a 5% increase right there. So that's all I need to get fired up, Jedd. You should know that already. Being a native New Yorker, it doesn't take much to get me into the next zone there. So, but I tried. I don't know if either one of you guys saw it, but I tried some dumbbell lifting a la Dirks and Shaw at Ode's gym on Wednesday, maybe, or I think it was Wednesday.
Oh,
night.
I caught that. Yeah. You hit some
old Ivanko dumbbells. Now, I had never done that before, and they're in good condition. They're not real. They're not slippery, but they're not like rough either. I mean, they're just regular. And I don't know how the size of those compares to, you know, the York ones. But, I mean, that was what you saw in the video was I just put a chalk on and lifted them, both hands, and that felt pretty good. I probably could have done maybe a little bit heavier ones. But, again, I don't know the size of them.
I'm not sure I've seen that style of dumbbell before, so that's pretty cool. A little golden hex there.
Yeah, it's the only one in the gym like that. Otherwise, if they had other ones, I would have tried them. But, yeah, I figured I would play around with some of the stuff since I was taking my time that night. I had plenty of time, so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the fact, so when Brian Shaw did it, he did the air transfer of a 60. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's mind-boggling to me. There's no, I don't want to hurt my fingers before this contest, but I'm pretty sure there's no way I could have done an air transfer of that 50-pound ones that I held. I mean, I could deadlift, with each hand pretty comfortably, but to catch it, that's just a few levels above where I am. That's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's huge. It's huge. Did you guys see the one that Sunniva Nordskog put up? Her Instagram is S Nordskog. She hung for 19 seconds on a meat hook.
On the meat hooks, yes, that was insane.
No, I'm not even familiar with her, unfortunately. Another Scandinavian woman. I'm not familiar with her.
Yeah, but she's done some grip contests. I want to say that she did that one that Eric won this year.
The European Grip Championships?
Yes, I think so. I think she might have been at that one, but she's like a brute, man. She's got some muscle. You can see that she is very, very strong. We've talked about her before. 20 seconds, reaching for 20 seconds, but this 19-second hold is as close as I can get for a meat hook hang, and it's very obvious. I knew it was a meat hook before I even saw the meat hook hang
right.
hashtag. It's pretty cool. So,
is that, I've never held one of those. Is that thing looks super thin? Is it like less than an inch thick? Like how thick is the meat hook?
I want to say it's 3/8 possibly, or ½ inch.
Holy cow!
Oh, are they that thin? I didn't realize. I thought they were more. I thought they were more near an inch. Oh wow!
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, they look thin, but it's hard to tell. I mean, some of these guys' hands, are big, so it's hard to tell. But they look like way thinner than a regular bar or dumbbell handle, like way thinner.
Yeah, it's more like my pinky finger width. So I'm going to say it's like 3/8 or ½ inch. But I could be wrong. I'll walk down there. Shit, it'll be 2 inches thick for all I know, man.
Do you have them at home, Jedd? Do you have those?
Yes, I got them right from the beginning because I was going to hold a World's Strongest Hands. That's when they were introduced right before. Well, not right before, but in preparation for World's Strongest Hands. So I got them, and right away I was able to do like over 500 pounds on them. But they're another skin damager. They'll rip you up, dude. They're pretty dangerous. Not dangerous, but they're high risk for your skin. So, yeah. Yeah,
I'm going to hope Santa Claus does not bring me any of those.
Yeah.
So,
no, just stick with your.
Not on my list right now. The Christmas list.
Yeah.
Hey, another thing is Andrew Dubin up there in Canada is coming out with some pretty cool products. Did you see those new hubs he's putting out there, Jedd? Alan, did you see those?
Hubs?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Hubs, no.
Oh, he's got a mini hub, a 1.5-inch hub, and then he made a 5-inch replica of the Brian Shaw plate hub.
Nice.
Oh, so it's like a bull ring?
Yeah, but it's thick.
Oh, no.
It's not.
I see what you're saying. So this is kind
it's like filled in.
Yeah, this is kind of like a brake rotor. If you can imagine a brake rotor, Alan.
That's exactly what it's like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually how I trained to lift the blob by the face. Was my best friend from high school, his family owns a tire shop, so they had millions of these brake rotors sitting around, and I grabbed the one that closest matched the blob, and I put duct tape around it so that because it was rusty, so I put duct tape around it so it was slippery again, and then I duct taped. Everything was with duct tape back then. I didn't have any welder buddies. So I duct taped a 25-pound plate to the bottom of this rotor, and it worked great. It worked great. I did it for like a year straight in order to work up to it, and I think it was pretty effective for me. So
yeah, because Dube, and it wasn't like a challenge, but he asked me if I was any good at lifting little hubs in addition to the regular hubs. So that's why today I put up a video of me lifting that little 2-inch hub that Gil sent me. I really wasn't planning on doing any hubs till after LA Fit Expo, but like I said in the post, that little guy was calling my name, and the dude was asking if I was any good at it, so I gave it a shot. So I lifted 60 pounds today on a 2-inch hub.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that. I have something that I don't even know what the name of it would be. It's a Fat Bastard prize that I got from a contest years and years and years ago. And I would say I think it's probably 2 inches, maybe a little bit smaller. It's solid stock, and it hooks on just like hooks onto a carabiner, just like a Rolling Thunder would. So it's not strict.
Cool.
Like, you know, you could end up tilting it a little bit, like the Ironman hub. But so it's not like strict like the Dub hub, for instance, the way that is set up.
Right.
But I've never used it. It's never been on a carabiner. It's never had chopped on it or anything. Yep. So.
Well, Jedd, I suggest you superset that with your stub training for the stub/hub workout. Again, new ebook coming. It could be the.
Yeah, buddy, for sure. Hey, congratulations to Becca on her graduation, by the way. I know that she's had a lot of negativity in her life recently, but that's a big positive note for her, graduating from, I think it was some kind of like college or something like that.
Yes. Yep.
Fantastic.
And did you guys see the Austrian titty twister that was invented by Circo Peterman?
No,
I think I'm excited that I was left out of this one, Jedd, but I'm sure you're going to give us more details.
Yeah, so the write-up was, this is Circo Peterman, Sirko Peterman. After 10,000 hours of reputable investigation at scientific resources like YouPorn, X-Hamster, My Dirty Hobby, and so on, I invented the Austrian titty twister. And what it is unfortunately I didn't grab a picture, so I can't really describe it to you, but it's like it's kind of like stubbish. It's stubbish in nature. It's like a micro key pinch type of lift. So it's pretty cool. But I could see where he's coming from with the name.
I guess that's some form of cross-training, Jedd.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cross-training / recreation, you know.
There you go. Well, I guess that's one way to fill your downtime.
Yeah, for sure. He's
very interesting. Thanks for sharing that tip right now.
He also came out with something called a Mr. No-No. But it's like a micro narrow fingertip pinch. It's not a key pinch. It's more of a like fingertip. But he's got some cool stuff on here that he's come up with, man. You guys should check this stuff out, and it looks pretty nice too.
Who is this guy?
Colors. Circo, or it might be Circo, Sirko Peterman, Petermann. He's on Facebook. I don't know where else you might run into him, but
here we go.
He looks like
I don't think you want to run into him in the locker room. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's some interesting pictures when you see it. Okay, so it's all right. So I was totally wrong. It's not a micro pinch. It is more like, if you can imagine, basically, if you know how Riccardo, how you picked up those 2 50-pound weights.
Yes.
Those gold weights. Okay, so imagine if you picked them up, but instead of having them out to your side, you were almost straddling them. It's a two-handle implement that you grab, and it's more like it's almost like a claw grip that you're using over like a blob by the face or a York dumbbell, inverted dumbbell lift. So I don't know why I was thinking it was a micro pinch. Maybe the titty twister description got me, but if you go down to November 24th on Circo Peterman's page, you'll see what I'm talking about there. He's got a picture of like college girls grabbing each other's boobs, and then below that he's got a lifting demonstration of the lift and just a shot of the implement. It's pretty cool. I'm not sure that he's actually selling them. It might be just something that he made in his spare time to work on his grip with, but it looks really cool.
Well, I think you need to bring that to America, Jedd, and include that in the next Wyalusing Invitational. It's February. You know, you got the nightmare, Napalm's nightmare. That's a different kind of nightmare right there. You got all kinds of things going.
Yeah, titty twister nightmare. Yeah, dude. Got potential. I'm sure that'll bring in a lot of women competitors to the competition.
That's exactly. Ay. Jedd, harvesting the internet for information.
Yep. Darren Shulman back in the grip news last week. He made a trip down to Andrew Pankey's and decided to tear a bunch of decks of cards, unopened packs of cards while wearing pot holders. So nothing like doing some of the hardest card tearing feats ever heard of after months, if not years, of not doing any grip training. So that's pretty good.
That seems impossible to me. That type of strength. It almost seems fake.
Yeah.
So
it's like so much tension on the hands, and it's just scary. I think I only tried that once, and that was enough for me. And it wasn't an unopened pack either. It was like a loose pack. So I think I might have done that as a demo one time, just as part of the card tearing ebook that I put out. But that's it. I never got into that. What about you, Alan? You were on quite a tear recently, punishing the cards.
I like tearing cards, but I'm definitely not at the level of doing anything like that. That's well beyond.
How do you know until you try, Alan? Go get your pot holders right now and let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
It's funny. It's something that kind of thing is on the list, you know. But I'd be happy just being able to consistently tear like bicycles. You know, that was kind of what I'd like to do, and those are pretty hit or miss for me. Yeah. But yeah, it's really neat seeing people do that stuff.
I was at Walmart last night, Alan, and you can get at the Walmart I was at, you get decks of cards of Mavericks for 88 cents.
88 cents. Yep, I pick them up every time I go there, and that's cool. You know, I know Mavericks tend to be easy, but they're also affordable. You know, when you figure bicycles are like 3 or 4 times as much, you know, they just kind of force you to train with them. Yeah. So, but they're a lot of fun. Yep.
The other thing I wanted to mention out of the feats, and then I think this pretty much wraps it up for me, is Kyle McMurrin put up a double fold bend, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that kind of a bend. It was like wrapped over on top of itself and stuff. Do you guys see that? You guys follow him on Instagram? He does like a bend a day.
No, I didn't see that.
It was like
didn't see it either.
It was pretty soon after the show that we did last time. And I lied. There is one more thing that I wanted to cover, and I'm wondering if you guys saw this. Did you see the number 4 close that was put up on the Cash 10 Ultra YouTube channel?
Yes.
Did you catch the name by chance? Because I didn't write that down. I just took a screenshot.
No, I didn't. I'm not sure who it was who closed it. It was it like a 25-second video and it showed the guy just absolutely demolishing the gripper there and holding it shut?
It was 1 minute 35 seconds. It's on Cash 10 Ultra YouTube channel. It's Artur Yumaguzin. Artur Yumaguzin. COC4 deep set 208 RGC, and what he does is he measures. I didn't watch the whole video. I'm so impatient, guys. But he did measure the spring, and it looks like a number 4. And then I just skipped to the end and saw the close, and it was definitely closed. I can't really remember what the set was that he used. It wasn't by any means a credit card set.
They called it a deep set.
Yeah, I mean it's deep. It's beyond parallel. But, I mean, he smashed it and held it. Now, the set was braced, so he kind of used both legs. So on the closing hand, it was braced on that leg, and also on the setting hand, it was braced on that leg. So, you know, you're not allowed to do that in a gripper set. But, you know, he did close the gripper after it was free from his hands. So I know I can't do that, so... That's
still quite a bit of horsepower to even, and we all know those last few millimeters are the toughest, so it's very impressive.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now. Yep, he definitely got it.
I mean, he got it and he held it, so it was it was kind of dark, so, you know, I don't know who this guy is, and Cash 10 Ultra usually has, like, reputable videos on here, so, you know, it looks like they tried to document as well as they could. I don't know if they measured like the space between the handles and stuff like that, but it looks like they just mic'd. Well, it's not miking because I guess this is not a micrometer, but they're calipers. They calipered the spring so that you can see the size of the spring. I just don't know if they did the spread or not. Yeah, they did the spread of the handles.
It looked like they did, yeah.
Yep. So
that looks legit to me, I guess.
it looks legit.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a 4. The spring looks like a 4.
Yeah, nothing
questionable about the stamps.
No.
It doesn't look.
It wasn't a 224 from a credit card set or anything like that either, you know. So it was. I think this is legit feet. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, a 224 from a credit card set. That's a better chance of seeing Bigfoot walk by me right now than that would be quite impressive.
Right.
And you actually see the gripper open up, which, if I remember on the Joe Kinney video, like the gripper doesn't ever open up. So
how did that come back to life anyway? I was watching that for a little bit. I'm glad it came up on Facebook and not the grip board because it kind of got to run its own course, but I didn't know what started it all.
The way that it came up was Better put up the video of some dude squatting like a tremendous weight for I think 20 reps. And
yeah.
I didn't watch the video, but the discussion was, look at this guy that can only get 20 reps, and Joe Kinney said that he could do it for 40 reps or something like that.
For 60, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where the discussion came up.
I got it. Yep, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
But I think Joe Kinney said he also used the safety bar, and if I recall, he used the handles like they were, like his squat rack was like built into a tree or something. Or two trees, and he used the handles from the safety bar to help him up.
Yes.
If I recall.
Yeah,
so
Chris
it's not
Rice clarified that too, yeah.
It's not like, and I didn't read any of this discussion, but I don't think he was comparing his squat to, say, Paul Anderson. You know what I mean? I think his point was, look, you put in the work squats make your body strong. You put in the work, you're going to get strong. And I think for him it was all about work. Not necessarily like he's going to take on Ed Cohn in a powerlifting squat off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of guys don't train the other part. Say that again? Sorry.
Or he would have to not mean that in order for it to be legit. You know?
Right.
I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those would
not
be his intentions.
Right. What he realized is that he started getting stronger when he started squatting, so he kept squatting, and it made his whole body strong. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. That
you
factor.
Have full body strength. You have to have full body strength. You have to train for full body strength if you want to reach your maximum grip strength, in my opinion. No doubt about it.
Well, just look at you blasting up all these bench press dumbbells. And look at the result. Your upper body has gotten bigger and stronger and more muscular. So, of course, you're going to be better at some of those type of lifts. It's not 100% transfer. I mean, I don't think if your incline bench goes up 2 reps, your silver bullet's going to go up 2 seconds, but you're going to be stronger. It's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And just skip leg day altogether. You don't need to do that.
Well, your leg day is carrying the inch. The rest of us have to actually squat and deadlift if we can't do that.
Dude.
So.
I didn't put the video up, but I actually got 3 reps with double inch deadlift the other day. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's 3 reps with what? 340 pounds?
Yeah, about 340, 350. Yeah, 344 or so. Yeah.
That's a triple, and I did them for speed. We'll say those are speed reps.
Speed reps. I love it.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, you're doing box step-ups with those things pretty soon.
Yep. Yeah, dude. Step-ups? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Luke better weld you a good box. That's all I can say.
Yeah. No, dude, I got a top-of-the-line Elite FTS box squat. So
nice.
I'm hoping that would hold.
There you go.
Nice.
All right. Dude, that wipes me out. I don't know if you guys have anything else, but, I mean, I'm bled dry here.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Cool.
Nope, yeah, I got to go in my classroom and grade some papers right now. Can't wait.
All right, have fun with that, man, because that was one of the things that I was always looking forward to when I was still going after my teaching degree. I always wanted to grade papers on a Sunday night, but then I decided not to follow up with that degree. So I never got to enjoy that. So please,
well, Jedd, if we ever want to make a podcast, A Day in the Life of Riccardo, I will guarantee there is grading and ample red pens, as many as you can deadlift. I will have those red pens available when you come out here sometime. We'll get you covered.
All right, fantastic, dude. Maybe I can grade some of those sheets too.
Oh, the kids would love it. They would find it delightful. I'm sure you'd write like "Good job, brother" on that paper, and they'd get all fired up.
That's right, man.
I love it.
Yep. All right.
You'd put a massive thumbs up on there. You'd probably trace your own thumb, put that massive thumb on there. Dude, I can even picture the whole thing now. It would be excellent.
Yep. If they did poorly, then I'd write a scope on there.
Yeah, or thumbs down. Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Outstanding, guys. Thank you very much. Alan, why don't you take it away, big boy?
All right. Well, that's it for episode 36 of This Week in Grip. Everybody, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below, and we'll be back next week with another one. We'll see you then.